Arman Tsarukyan is fired back at Paddy Pimblett. Paddy made an appearance on the Full Send podcast this week. He said the old guard of the lightweight division, they're all on the way out. In the next 2 or 3 years, the top 10 is going to look completely different. The only person in the top 10 who is under 35 that I can think of is Arman Tsarukyan. He's just a little posh boy who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter by his dad. He's a little bitch ass. That's what you are, Arman, a little bitch boy. He was doing videos where he flips forward on his neck, and he's saying that he's got a bad back. Dana said Dana shot him down in that interview. That's heavy. You don't want the boss saying that about you, because he got asked if Arman is still number 1. He was like, no, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Basically, Arman, you shit your pants. You farted and followed through, and now there's shit coming down your leg. Tsarukyan fired back on X. He wrote, says the guy who got the easiest path to the top in the UFC just because he's got a funny accent and budget Beatles haircut. I dare you to call me out if you win, and we will see who shit his pants in the octagon when we meet, clown. At Paddy the Batty. Jiri Prochazka is training on a frozen lake in the mountains. Robert Whittaker discusses the upcoming fight between Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. According to Rob, the outcome really depends on which version of Volk shows up on fight night. He pushed back against the idea that Volk is washed, calling the narrative silly, but he does admit that age could play a role with Volk now being 37.
But I think the $1 million question is what Volk are we going to see in the octagon come that night, UFC 314? Because his everyone was already talking about his losses to Makhachev, his knockout, and then you back that onto the knockout with Topuria, back that onto his age, and as MMA fans like to do, as soon as he lost, they started throwing his age around and calling him a wash, which is the silliest thing I've ever heard. Truth is, he's been out for a while now. Mm-hmm. He's coming off Makhachev and Topuria. Yeah. Did bad losses the last couple. His age is a factor in this. Which Volk are we going to see in the octagon come 314? Diego Lopez, right now, running that confidence and hype train like nobody's business. Yeah. He is just... Momentum is a serious thing in MMA because it just promotes so much confidence in yourself. It promotes so much doubt in your opponents, and you just run with it, and you can see it. We've seen it. Now, Diego Lopez is running that train. He put a beating on Ortega, but Diego's in a very, very dangerous form right now. Okay, Makhachev won Volk. Mm-hmm. I think beats Diego Lopez. Mm-hmm. Volk's skill set and just his composure, his toughness, his grit, his fight IQ, his ability to fight in the octagon is 0 to none, second to none. Okay, he's amazing. But again, with all the other factors we look into it, which Volk do we see? Well, I guess it's also because he needs the time off, but time is ticking. Yeah, it's a constant factor in this game when you're on the back end of your career, I guess. Yeah. Now, and Diego Lopez he's 30, right? So he's still got that fire. He's never been closer to the title. So and you can see in those fights, you saw the way he fought Ortega. He's hungry. He's so hungry, and he's going to come into that octagon like a savage. Willing to give it all. And that's how Volk was. And that's what I want to see Volk do come 314. Because that Volk, that fought his way to the belt, that was holding on to the belt, unstoppable Volk.
Michael Chandler says his second loss to Charles Oliveira left a bad taste in his mouth. With only 1 win in his last 5 fights, Chandler is determined to get back on track by defeating Paddy Pimblett at UFC 314.
Ton of respect for Paddy. We'll see what he brings on the mic. We'll see what Paddy shows up. It's a great card top to bottom. UFC 314 in Miami is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, obviously the whole division's had their eye on Paddy for a while. He's very charismatic. He's got a great following. He truly loves what he does. So I got a ton of respect for him. When the UFC brought it up, I liked the idea. It's little bit more of a fun fight compared to the Poiriers and the Gaethjes and the Oliveras and the guys that I've been fighting. So it's a fun fight, man. It's a fun fight that the fans have gotten behind. I got a bad taste in my mouth from my last fight against Charles at Madison Square Garden, so I'm excited to go out there and right the ship. I think everyone should be excited. You know, how does he stack up against a top-ranked guy? How does he stack up against a guy who can go hard for 25 minutes? How does he stack up against a guy who throws big shots and has great cardio and is ferocious and might I say violent? So we'll see. You know, this is a sink or swim moment for him, and it's just another fight for me, and I'm excited to go out there and compete. Yeah, I mean, there's always the court of public opinion and narratives and storylines. For me, it's just another guy with 2 arms and 2 legs who's my size, man. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old, essentially. Hand-to-hand combat on the wrestling mats, and then in mixed martial arts for 15 years. So it's a lot of the same, man. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna put the pressure on him, hit him with some big shots, and we'll see if he can hang.
Jean Silva is confident he will make Bryce Mitchell quit at UFC 314. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, he went on to say this fight has become the people's main event because I promoted it. Let's be real, who's carrying this event on his back? When was the last time we saw a press conference like that? It was Conor McGregor. No one else has done that, and it's not fake. I love all that. I've envisioned myself doing that a million times, and wait for the next one. I'll do even more. There's also the fact that he's talking a bunch of crap. Even the Americans have embraced me because of the shit that he said. And it's all good, man. He's a hillbilly. After I beat him up and get my bonus, get my money, we'll celebrate in a hillbilly party. It's kind of crazy because I just left an Armenian party because Melsik was Armenian, and now I'm going to a hillbilly party. So cool. Let's go. I never had that desire to beat him up. I'll make this very clear. I never did. He's the man I love the most from now until the win. I pray for his life, for his family, so his dreams come true, and it won't be different on the 12th. It will come true, hands will be raised, but it won't be his. He's a good man, a man that roots for others, and his dream will come true on the 12th. Be sure that he'll see someone else's hands raised, but it's not like I dreamed of beating him. I never had any hate. I never had any of that for the people standing in front of me. I don't even look at him as an opponent. It's just an employee that will work for me that day. He'll be another step on the ladder of my success. I don't have that sentiment that the world has. I understand everybody for the shit he said, but I don't have that hate. I don't have that in my heart. If you watch my fights, Lord is not a coward. He doesn't continue hitting when people don't want to fight anymore. It won't be different now. Bryce will quit, and Lord won't be mean or coward to continue hitting him. It's out of context, right? It's cool to look back at the Nordic times when the wars were to the death, but it's not the same anymore. We are building another kind of war where the opponent can quit, tap out, or say that he doesn't want to fight anymore, and the battle is over. That will happen. He will quit. I won't continue hitting him because that's not who I am. He'll get beat like everybody else got beat, and just others will get beat because I'm the best at what I do, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you all think. God made it this way. I like myself, and those who don't can complain with God. On Bryce recently saying that Silva was haunting him in his dreams, he continued, I believe he's promoting the fight there. We're talking about the number 13th ranked guy. He's not a fool. He knows what he's doing, you know. Does he have some issues in his head? Probably for the shit he said, but it doesn't bother me one bit. I just want him to show up on the 12th. It will bother me if he doesn't show up, because then I'll have to go to his gym and beat him up. He has to show up on the 12th. He can say all the crap he wants, brother. He can call my mom names, my father, my wife, my son. All he has to do is show up on the 12th. Other than that, it doesn't matter. Jared Cannonier believes he may end up rematching Sean Strickland. The two fought in 2022 and Cannonier won via split decision. He admitted that he was frustrated during the fight because of Strickland's lack of engagement and believes things would play out differently if they ran it back. Go check out Cannonier's full appearance on the Overdogs podcast this week. Links in the description.
You know, I'm thinking that's what we will get, because the last time I fought him, he said it himself, he fought like a I felt like he didn't come forward like like I expected him to. So I think, and then after he fought me, he went on to win the title. You know, he won 2-1 on the title.
Yeah.
So, the ego with me would like to take credit for making him a better fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if he were to fight me again, I would assume that that would all be fresh into his brain. That, hey, I fought this man, I didn't fight him the way I should have fought him. And then when I did fight the way I should have fought, I won the title. So I'm finna fight this man the way I believe that he would fight me, and that would be a fun fight, because I was really looking forward to the first fight that we had. But to be honest, I got kind of frustrated and kind of bored because he wasn't going forward, as much. You know what I mean? And yeah. So hopefully.
I mean, I can see that again.
Yeah. So hopefully he fights and he comes forward like he usually does. Whether he's throwing his jabs and his teeps to whatever effect they're going to be against me.
He's gonna play the points where he's gonna jab, shoulder roll. He's gonna move, especially with his recent nose injury. He's gonna watch out for things a little differently now, and play that shoulder roll and those points with the jab. He does use that teep, is a little awkward, comes in there, and you fight very strong in your base. I've done that. I've definitely.
I'm not trying to win ball points, and it's sometimes to my detriment. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to win by points. I'm really trying to hit you, make you feel it, and then see the reaction that I'm gonna get out of it. But yeah, I'm not really concerned myself with how the judges feel about what I'm doing. I don't even know that they're there, to be honest. I've never even thought about the judges being there when I step into a fight ring. So.
Paddy Pimblett is confident he'll finish Michael Chandler within 2 rounds at UFC 314. He also criticized Chandler's fight IQ, calling it some of the worst in the UFC, and believes it will play a key role in the fight. Paddy plans to beat Chandler, fight somebody in the top 5, then fight for the lightweight title.
Yeah, he's a Bellator legend, like, you know what I mean? He held the belt multiple times. In the UFC, he's been what an entertaining fighter he is, you know what I mean? He's one of the fighters that I love watching, but he hasn't had the best record. He's 2-4, but his losses are 2 against Charles, 1 against Gagey, 1 against Poirier. All 3 of them have held, Poirier and Gagey held interim belts, and Charles had the undisputed belt. So, he's fought top competition. So, when I finish him, my name best be regarded in there with them. Yeah, this is the beat Chandler, and then it's a top 5 and then a title fight. That's the goal, that's the plan. But to be honest, I think if I didn't have that year out because of surgery, I think I'd already be fighting for the belt by now. But when I fought Jared and I'd done my ankle bad, I had to sit out for a year with major surgery. So I think I would have already beat someone like Chandler and then already beat someone in the top 5 and then be fighting for the belt soon. But, it's one of them. It's what life throws at you. You've got to come back from it. I'm ready to do 5 rounds. I've done 5 rounds in Cage Warriors before, and this isn't going 5 rounds. Chandler gets finished in 2. Yeah, it motivates you a bit more, like knowing that he's gonna come in and just try and hit me with an overhand right or a left hook and knock me out. It gets you your blood flowing a little bit more because you know that he's coming to entertain, and I love that. It was the same with Bobby Green, you know what I mean? I knew Bobby was gonna come and try and take my head off and knock me out, so I think I prepare better when it's like that. But the biggest difference in this fight is fight IQ. Like, no disrespect to, but Chandler's got some of the worst fight IQ I've ever seen, and I've got some of the best. So the game plan's gonna make a big difference.
Sean O'Malley has responded to the backlash the UFC has received for booking the rematch between him and Merab. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, O'Malley said, "Don't watch. Saturday night, June 7th, f***ing watch your reality TV show. Don't watch the fight. I'm very grateful for the UFC giving me the rematch. I didn't really have much conversation with the UFC. I did tell them that was really the only fight I was interested in. I wanted the belt back. It wasn't even I wanted the belt back. I wanted Merab. I wanted that fight back. And there wasn't much negotiation there. It was kind of like, all right, let's do it. There's 2 ways you can go from taking a loss. You can either go up or down, and I wanted to go up. The whole fight didn't go obviously as planned, but I feel like it's going to make this one that much sweeter. I'm going to be a massive underdog. People aren't going to expect what I know I'm capable of on June 7th, so it's going to make it that much sweeter. I had to wait 3.5 years, whatever it was, to prove that the first Cheeto fight wasn't the way it was supposed to play out. This one I didn't have to wait nearly as long, but I'm excited to go out there and do something similar in the rematch with Merab. That last fight, I don't think a lot of people went and truly rewatched it, because it's not one of those fights that it's super worth rewatching. I do think the second time watching it, you realize it's a little bit closer than the first time you watched it live, but I don't think many people rewatched it, and they weren't interested in rewatching it, and their opinions are just going to kind of stay the same. Again, they're not interested. Don't watch it. But when I go out there and win, I guarantee people are going to rewatch it or at least rewatch the finish if there's a finish. Might be a 5-round decision, could be a finish, we'll see. I think at the end of the day, that Saturday rolls around, people are going to be talking about it. Henry Cejudo's UFC belt was stolen last night. MMA reporter Dylan Rush posted this to his Instagram story today. It says someone broke into Henry's studio last night at 4:45 a.m. and stole his first UFC belt while I was sleeping on the couch. I woke up and watched the guy stand there for 2 minutes thinking it was Henry because it was dark. Then I heard a crash, the shelf fell, and the dude ran out. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Dana White entering a $10 million Baccarat tournament and losing. The first one says Dana out here just gambling with millions, but offered Vahidov a 12-12 contract. No wonder the guy left the UFC and got a title shot against Rico. The second one's from Wild and Free 101. It says $10 million is the prize money, not the cost to enter/buy in. And the final one's from Rams 812. It's in reference to Aljamain Sterling telling a story about how he met John Jones at a bar. And John offered Aljo a drink, but Aljo didn't want to take it because he had a fight booked in a couple of weeks. It says Aljo denied the drink because he knew it was spiked and he was about to get clapped if he took it. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.